But you're not complaining either.
All right, everybody set? We will open it up for questions for Malik.
Malik, I guess with how the road trip went last week, getting the win on Sunday though with his senior day, how does that kind of change preparation going to the big game? You guys feel a little bit better vibe after that?
Yeah, obviously winning brings a better vibe, and everybody's a lot happier. So just try to continue to keep the focus and roll into the tournament.
We do have a mic here too.
Oh, sorry.
Obviously, playing the same team a couple times in a row might be a challenge, but did it almost help in a weird way that second half kind of went the other way for a little bit to avoid any sort of going in thinking we could just show up and beat this team?
I don't think so. As far if you're talking about as far as like when playing them in a tournament, I think it happened the first game, it's happened the second game, so I think we definitely know for the third game. But I think either way, coach would have had us ready, and realizing it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row, no matter who they are.
Malik, you guys have mentioned how you guys sort of feed off the crowd and the energy that the crowd brings. So this year is going to be different than last year because, more fans are going to be in attendance for a Big Ten tournament. So how do you hope to maybe feed off of that then?
I'm just really excited. This will be my first actual Big Ten tournament experience. Last year was a little bit different. I think it was mostly just families for the most part. So seeing it packed out and a lot of people there, I think I'll be really excited for that.
In your career, you've never played somebody 3 times in one year, I'm guessing, because, right, the freshman year, no Big Ten tournament, nothing. So I'm wondering if you have a sense of what to face somebody this quickly, how that changes the dynamics of, it's the most recent team you've seen on the court. It's all that, whatever trash talk and dialogue you had and matchups are all right there, right in your face again. I'm wondering how that, you think, changes facing somebody.
For me personally, I'm going to approach it the same way. Every game's important, especially at this time of year. So no matter what happened last game, it's a fresh new game. It's a new season, like Coach has been saying. So just keep the same mindset of working hard and, being the most prepared that we can be as a team.
You guys faced these guys last year down in Indy as well. I guess, how much did maybe that game kind of prepare you and some of the other guys for what this time of year is like?
I think at the end of all of last year, I think at least for the people that are returning, we all sat and watched most of the tournament and most of the Big Ten tournament together. So we know how it felt after. So I think everybody, if everybody thinks back and everybody remembers how they felt after, it'll be something good for us and motivate us as we go in.
Malik, right here. I actually got 2 things for you, if you don't mind. When considering the opponent, is this one of those weeks like we heard from you guys earlier where you just sort of focus on Michigan State more, knowing, maybe a little bit more about what Maryland does these couple days?
Yeah, a little bit. Since we did just played them, I think we don't have to do as much for that we did it before, but we're definitely still doing stuff to prepare for them, and we definitely are focusing on ourselves a little bit more too.
And then I wanted to ask you, with this team, what do you guys have to do? We've talked about inconsistency all year. Now, obviously, you lose one and things change. Your season could end coming up here. Just what does this team have to do to sort of get into that mode? Do you think you guys can sort of flip a switch, I guess, to try to find some of that consistency at this time of year?
I think we've proven pretty much all year that we can play with anybody and we can lose to anybody. So it's really just keeping that momentum that we have right now and that remembrance of last year, just to keep us motivated and rolling through the tournaments.
Malik, you talked about how this is your first real Big Ten experience with the tournament, and how have the seniors, Gabe and Marcus, really shared their experience when they were freshmen in 2019 going into this?
We honestly, I haven't really talked to them much about it. I personally remember watching it and how it was for them. It was something that they said was really exciting, but it wasn't. We didn't really go into depth about it that much.
Malik, talking about your play, I know the couple games before Sunday, you didn't have the production that you wanted. What were kind of the process to lead you to be able to, I guess, kind of break out on Sunday, and how do you sustain that going forward?
For the most part, it's just being aggressive, really. Come each game, sometimes shots aren't falling. Just continue to shoot and continue to work on my game and just keep moving forward.
Anything else from Malik? Whoop, one more, Audrey.
For them to go 0 for 14 from the field to start the game, what do you credit that to, and how can you use that going forward for this game on Thursday?
Some of it was good defense, some of it was luck, honestly. I know they didn't mean to go 0 for 14, so it was definitely a little luck played in that, but I think we did a pretty good job of preparing for what they were going to do, and the coaches really helped us through that, and we got to execute when everybody got on the floor. So.
Malik, we've talked about you guys maybe not having the go-to guy all the time this year. I'm wondering, as a guy who scouts opponents at this level, I mean, could that actually make you guys a dangerous team in a tournament setting when any given guy could sort of pop up and have that 17 points like you or 20-point game, something like that? There's not a single guy you really have to shut down, I guess. Is that an asset, you think?
Yeah, I've been saying it since the beginning of the year. Any night, anybody could do something special. Anybody can score the ball at a ridiculous amount. So I think it definitely does make us a little harder because if you try and take one person away, somebody else could do it. And then we have people that are coming off the bench that could also do it. So I think it just makes it a lot harder for some people.
Chris?
Well, what are the pluses and minuses of the quick prep for the same team you just faced?
A little more rest, I'd say. You know, we don't have to do as much because, I mean, we know their playbook, we know the personnel. So it's really just mental for the most part. The mental preparation is probably a plus that we get a little bit of time to rest, but also it's not as much that we have to do because we already just played them. Minus is to not underestimate them. That's all it is, really.
Anything else from Malik? Thanks, Malik.